Now we're going to take you to our cleanup game segment of the week, and this is also in our Friday predictions. And basically, we call them cleanup games because these are games that basically you know they're going to win. You're not really interested because you know that one team is really going to win or it's going to be a lopsided victory. And so we're going to start with the Colts versus the Titans. The Titans got blew out last week versus the Texans. They're facing the Colts, who also got blew out by the New Orleans Saints, 62-7. But I have to take the Tennessee Titans, and I think my colleague is going to take the Tennessee Titans also.
Yes, I believe the Titans will storm away with a victory led by Chris Johnson. Give him the ball and just let him win the game. I think this will be the game that he goes off. Traditionally, he does well against the Colts. So I'm predicting a 100-plus game, 100-plus rushing and a touchdown. And maybe, you never know, he might take a screen for 70 and score as well.
I think that the Titans are going to bounce back very strong, and I think that Matt Hasselbeck and Chris Johnson are going to have a very strong game. That Colts offense is weak. Colts defense even weaker. I got a runaway game for the Titans. We're going to go to the Saints versus the Rams. Obviously, the Saints just put up 62 points against the Colts in a Sunday night game. The Rams, no better than the Colts. I have the Saints running away with this also. They might score 65 against the Rams.
I'm not going to go that far, say they're going to put up that many points.
They might score 65 against the Rams.
It's going to be a 40-point game. You know, they're going to win 40-7, something like that. Sam Bradford's back this week. You know, you never know. They might put up some points. Him and the boy Brandon Lloyd. Still going with the Saints.
Okay, we're going to move on to the Giants versus the Dolphins. Giants coming off a bye week. Dolphins took that tough loss to the Denver Broncos. I'm taking the Giants.
I'm going with the Giants. The Giants have too much firepower. They have a solid quarterback. You got great weapons. You got Mario Manningham, Hakeem Nicks, the boy Cruz. He's playing well. The tight end for the Giants. He's a nice little pickup in fantasy if you need him.
Jake Ballard?
Jake Ballard, yeah. Giants, too tough.
Again, I got to go with the Giants. Miami, not enough firepower. Brandon Marshall, your best player on offense. He's a head case. Not enough defense to stop this Giants offense. I got the Giants running away. We're going to move to the Cardinals versus the Ravens. Ravens took this tough loss to the Jacksonville Jaguars. I got them bouncing back and really, really dominating and beating up the Arizona Cardinals.
Yes. I see this as a runaway game, a bounce back, making a statement, not saying too much like, okay, you know, we're still here. That was a fluke. You know, whatever, that happened. You know, they're ready. They're going to bounce back. Keynote to watch. Watch Larry Fitzgerald against the boy Williams, number 29 for the Ravens. That should be a good matchup.
Okay. Now we're going to move to the team who beat the Ravens last week, the Jaguars versus the Texans. Again, the Jaguars played a solid game against the Baltimore Ravens. This Houston Texans team is another breed. They have Arian Foster, probably right now the best talent in the NFL at the running back position. I have the Texans, again, not letting the Jaguars off the hook this time and running away with a pretty decisive victory.
Yeah, I agree with my colleague here. Jacksonville's not at home this week. You know, you have to travel. You don't have the home crowd helping you out. The Texans are going to go ahead and get this victory. It's a must-need. They're going to win.
Okay. We're going to move to the Lions versus the Broncos. And a game that I don't really think is going to be that much of a runaway game for the Lions. Lions, Matthew Stafford, question mark, injury. Javid Best, not playing. Lack of a running game even with him. The Broncos coming off a real emotional win with Tim Tebow. I think Tim Tebow is going to play lights out. I think he's going to play a lot better. And the thing that you've seen with Tim Tebow is he had the right idea. He was making the right reads. He just did not finish and execute the play. I think this week is going to be different. I think he's going to make the right read, but I think a lot of those floater balls are going to be zip line balls, and I think that he'll come out with 3 touchdowns, and I think they're going to beat the Lions.
Well, I'm not going to go ahead and say that the Broncos will win, but I'm going to say they're going to put up a formidable effort against the Lions. The Lions have a great pass rush. That might be a little bit too much for Tim Tebow to handle. You know, those aren't little guys trying to bring him down. Ndamukong Suh will get Tim Tebow down. You know, that's going to happen. But the Lions aren't that great. You know, they're in the middle right now. You know, they have to. It's the game. They need this. They have to win this game. So I'm going with the Lions.
Okay, we're going to move to the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Seattle Seahawks. Really not a great game to watch, but that Bengals defense is very strong. I think it's going to be too much defense for newly starting quarterback Charlie Whitehurst. Their run defense, their run offense, Marshawn Lynch, I think, has an injury. They cannot pass the ball. The Bengals defense, top 5 in the league right now. Too much Andy Dalton, too much A.J. Green. Watch out for Bernard Scott. Cedric Benson is suspended this week. Bernard Scott came out a couple years ago, and you've seen that he was a very good backup talent. Watch out for Bernard Scott. I got the Bengals winning in a close victory.
The Seahawks, I do believe Tashard Jackson is playing this week. I don't know if they've established what quarterback they're going with, but if Tashard Jackson plays, they have a better chance to win. I don't think they're going to win regardless, but I don't think it's going to be that much of a runaway game for the Bengals. The Seahawks played a tough game last week against the Browns, 6-3. The defense is actually playing very well.
Very well.
But I'm going with the Bengals to edge it out. A little too much.
Browns versus the 49ers.
49ers.
Too much Frank Gore.
Way too much.
Alex Smith, I think, is a question mark. I think if the Browns can limit that running game, again, they played very solid against the Seattle Seahawks. If they can limit that run game, can Alex Smith do it?
Well, Alex Smith is getting a new weapon back. Braylon Edwards is back.
Oh,
He's back off of injury.
key addition.
Him, Crabtree, Vernon.
It's going to be tough for the Browns. I have the 49ers winning this game.
49ers, let's go.
Take it to a game that maybe is sort of a sleeper game. The Kansas City Chiefs versus the San Diego Chargers. And what you may not know about the Kansas City Chiefs is if they win this game, they'll be in first place of the AFC West. Remember, they were a playoff team last year.
They were.
And it's not about how you start in the NFL.
It's how you finish.
It's how you finish. I think that the Chargers got exposed last week. And I think that the physicality of that New York Jet defense maybe set a blueprint for the Kansas City Chiefs. And again, if you can get that running game started, they still have a lot of weapons on offense. Dwayne Bowe, Jackie Battle, which again, he's still a question mark right now because you haven't seen enough of him.
Right.
But he's very capable. 100 yards 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago before the bye week, 76 yards this week, and he's splitting carries with 2 other backs. The Chargers obviously look on paper a lot more presentable and more as in the shoe-in team for this game. I have the Chiefs in the upset, and I have the Chiefs winning first place of the AFC West.
Ooh, that's tough there. I don't know if I can agree with you there, but it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a very good game. This is a divisional game, goes back. It's a little tough of a rivalry, not much, national rivalry, but it's a rivalry between the two teams. The Chargers are playing at home this week, Monday Night Football. They're not flying across to the East Coast, no letdown there. So I'm going with the Chargers. Watch Vincent Jackson. They're going to get him in the game. There's not really a shutdown defender for the Chiefs. Eric Berry's not on the team anymore, so they're really...
6 interceptions last week.
That was against a terrible quarterback and one that's been on the couch. This is Phillip Rivers, who some say is having a, MVP type of year. So I'm going with the Chargers. Antonio Gates and Vincent Jackson is going to be too much.
Does that Chargers run game make you hesitate just a little bit?
Yes. If they had a run game, they would be...
I think a shoo-in to be one of the top teams in the AFC, period.
Yes, I do believe they would. If they had a run game, you could kind of say they would be like a West Coast Patriots.
Here's another question for you. Ryan Matthews. Do you think he's a wasted pick right now?
Terrible pick. He is Ryan Matthews, first round pick.
First round.
If I'm not mistaken, he was picked in front of some very good talent. He had, I guess a great season at Fresno State. State.
A great season.
It's Fresno State. Dumb pick, Chargers. Very dumb pick.
I don't necessarily say it's a dumb pick, but he's very injury prone.
Yes.
And You know, it's just one of those things about those great players. Sometimes you have a great talent and they could just never stay healthy. Steve Smith. I have the Chiefs winning. I think it's going to be a very close game. If Phillip Rivers can get back on point to being that dominant force from quarter 1 to quarter 4, then I think it's a shoo-in game for the Chargers, and then they take sole possession of the AFC West. But watch out for those Chiefs.
Watch out.
Watch out for the Chiefs, and that's going to sum it up for our Friday predictions.